Oh, there's more over here. I was like, where am I going next?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Oh, look at that. That is rickety.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Right, the cannery guy. This is very precarious.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
Oh, I was gonna say, do I go this way or that way? But this way is non-existent. Very dangerous. Well, that is dangerous too. The fact that it swings outward, I could lose my balance and fall. It could smack me on the head as I go in. Look, he's got like a shisha or hookah.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Well, he was like a hippie. He was a gamer too, I bet. What does this say? High school diploma.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Oh, I remember this minigame. Oh no.
Being sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Hey, fun at the cannery. Let me take this fish and behead it. Yeah.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Oh, so this is kind of cool. So my right stick controls this hand, where I will grab the fish. My left stick controls this.
wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
This can't go wrong. I'm daydreaming while beheading fish with a giant blade. This can't go wrong at all.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Oh, the fish are piling up.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
This is tripping me up trying to do
Like
both at the same time.
Louis.
Not
So I let him go on.
cut off my hand. I can't
I
see.
even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
I love how they interact with each other, like the fish.
He built the city up slowly, brick
the story.
by brick.
This is very anxiety building.
Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Look, they're fish. It's a fish float.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
He's having a realization like Ange did in Umineko.
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
I don't think the mayor wears a crown, Lewis.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
The 7 stakes of purgatory were actually fish.
It became a game for him.
Oh gosh.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
Obviously he wasn't very good at naming
He
things.
started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Sorry, Ma, I gotta chop these fish. Conquer some countries.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Beautiful prince.
beautiful prince.
Well, that's cool. Look at me cutting through the colors.
The prince was on his own quest for
For sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Am I supposed to be going through those loops? Because I am not.
He followed the sound of his
Electric sitar. Yeah, let's do the electric sitar. No, wait, no! I changed my mind! No!
electric sitar.
Just because how ridiculous that is.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh gosh, now I can't see anything. Oh gosh, this is horrible.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh, there's too many fish!
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
I'm pretty sure the blade wasn't up here.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
I love the gigantic door with the tiny door in it. I love it when games do that. Oh, I am leaving now with my hands intact. That is a miracle. I'm assuming this is mine.
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh, I'm going to work.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh. Is that me?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, she's doing the motion, there's nothing there. Wait, this fish guillotine, where does the head go if it's here? The head just drops on the floor? Oh, this isn't good. Why is this conveyor belt going to the ceiling?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
I love this art design. I can't move any faster. Giant cat.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
His name's Moby.
His prince waiting.
Oh no.
His crown.
Oh, I remember what happens.
There was only one thing left to do.
Why is this here?
Bend down his head.
Crown me.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That's a really cool section. I remember that one stood out to me a lot. Like the way it combines like the visuals with the gameplay. Like you're trying to concentrate on beheading the fish, but you're also trying to navigate the world in the corner, but knowing that it's fantasy, and simultaneously knowing that that sense of dread was building up the whole time. Like it's amazing. Like this is one of like, I love, yeah, this like dark humor, this kind of like gaming as like a medium for storytelling, right? Because gaming is, it's not just reading a book, right? It's not the same as watching TV or watching a movie. It's like the interactivity mixed with the graphics and like the storytelling and everything and your user input. Like it's like gaming is its own medium of storytelling, and like a lot of people, I know like nowadays people are really starting to see that more as more and more games with great narratives pop up. But it's like, you know, 10 years ago, like people wouldn't have, not as many people would be on board with that kind of stuff, you know? Games are just a waste of time, you know? Hey, Aru and Riske, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hello, yes, you've joined us at an interesting time. We are trying to find out the secret of this cursed family here. What happened to each of the family members. I think that's my favorite section in the game. And each of them is like different too. Like some of the sections are really short for some characters, like the flip book or like Odin's like flip photos, and then some of them are like really interactive. Some of them are just kind of short.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
An entire like kitchen up here. Oh, is this where Edith was living at the end? Or Edie? That's so sad. There's an old lady who didn't want to leave her home, but everyone else is moving out, trying to put it behind them. Wait, is this Dawn's room? But no, Dawn's room was the loft.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Aw.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
What did I step over? Oh, that was just the first steps of the stairs. This place goes on and on. How? There's no way Edie was able to climb this ladder.
But it had to end one way or another.
Oh, this is
All
my
that's left
room.
now was to tell you about that last night.
Why am I like crawling? This would be an awful place for an old lady to live by herself. There's so many stairs everywhere. No accessibility. Oh, this is the book. Oh, this is the book we've been writing in.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway.
Is that Edith eating
Why
with
don't
two
you
chopsticks separately?
The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Right, because only the Chinese takeout place would deliver here.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
That also seems like a hazard. Look at all these candles lying around everywhere.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
This place is just full of books everywhere. Right, we saw the library earlier, but we couldn't get in.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Go back up here if I wanted. Oh, they won't even let me, okay. Yeah, maybe this family isn't cursed, they're just architecturally ambitious. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go down. Logs threw me for a loop.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Where am I? Where am I going?
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Thought these were gonna be like different items that remind her of each family member, like the deer, Molly's toilet, but I don't recognize any of these things. I guess it's just remnants of the old house.
I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
No!
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Aw. No!
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
What happened to her? Well, the gone isn't. Oh.
After that, we moved around a lot.
We
We both tried to make the best of it.
Poor Edie.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, am I being
This journal was supposed to be for you.
birthed?
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Aw. Oh man. I guess Edith never learned the truth. She never heard the end of Edie's story. Why do I feel like slightly teary-eyed? It shouldn't be that sad. Again, it's just like the way they tell the story too. Like it's just like we didn't even really resolve anything. We didn't really find the truth, but yet like it was so moving. Are these like baby photos of all the developers? That's so cute. Look at these baby pictures. I heard that, okay, this is the second game made by this studio. Their first game came out a couple years before this one, called The Unfinished Swan. And I think it was confirmed in an interview that one of the characters in that game is Milton Finch. Although he's never named directly. The Finch, the artist guy that disappeared. But it's more of like an Easter egg. But again, like I love this game. It's like a short indie game, beautiful, like hauntingly so. Fascinating way of telling stories. Like so many different things going on, like different types of gameplay. I think the cannery section is my favorite. The froggy section was cute too until you find out what's happening. I also like Barbara's comic was also quite good. I like Barbara's comic. And some of them, like some sections are really short, but look, we finished like right at like 2 hours and a half, which is the estimated time to finish this game. With a little bit of meandering. I wish you could walk a little bit faster, but I think the reason why is because they want all the dialogue to play. If you're walking too fast, you might miss dialogue. I like seeing all these kid photos of the developers. It's a really cute idea. And like at varying ages too. Yeah, and again, there's like so much environmental storytelling. Like if you look at all the books in everyone's rooms, you can see the titles that they read, and then if you look at other people's rooms, sometimes you find titles that seem like they might have been borrowed from other family members. So you can kind of like understand their interactions. I think there's a website where they actually compile like all the books and where they are in the house and who is reading them and who lent them to who based on like circumstantial stuff. And it kind of like, it really has that like magical realism kind of feel to it, you know? This is a really cool way of doing credits, too. All the take-up boxes that say enjoy, thank you. Oh, whoa, it says the end. And there we go. Let's see, Dawn and Edie have been added now. Also, if you do replay a story, oh, you can choose whose story you replay. And if you picked Edith, it replays the whole game. That's cool. And now we know that at the beginning of the game, we were playing as Edith's son. On his way to deliver the flowers to her grave. Hey Jason, welcome to the stream. Thank you for popping by. We're just wrapping up, but I appreciate you being here. So yeah, like, I really want to share this game with you guys. And again, I haven't played it since 2017 when it came out, so like I'm surprised how much I didn't remember. Like I remembered like the overarching thing, but there's so many of the little stories that I just completely forgot about. And yeah, like a very interesting story, very interesting again as gameplay as like a medium for storytelling. I love that. There's so many like little games like this that I want to share with you guys that I really admire just for like the way they tell a story. Even if they're like shorter games that are under like 4 hours long. And I hope to play more of those between our big games, between the big releases and stuff. Because they're fascinating. And there's so many of these little like hidden gems around. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me here on stream. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would have segmented this into multiple parts. Tomorrow, we're going to be playing another short game on stream called Rock of Ages. It's a little bit more, it's a lot more lighthearted and just kind of silly fun. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. We'll do more Umineko on Wednesday, and then Thursday we're playing Monster Prom with Cassie, and then Friday will be Octopath Traveler 2. So a lot of stuff coming by. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream. I hope you had a good time. Oops, I gotta open up the menu so I can use my mouse again. And again, like, this game is fascinating. I'd love to come back to it again, like, even further in the future after I've forgotten more of it. Really. Let's go pay a visit to Melly. she's streaming party games today because today is her birthday. So please go wish her a happy birthday when we drop in on her. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. We're playing Rock of Ages tomorrow. It'll be fun. It's a silly game and I like it. All right. Take care, guys. Have a great week ahead of you. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.